we are now officially past the halfway mark of season 2023. And we're going into the back half of the year after a nice close win, finally, against GWS. And I will mention that a little bit later on. But a little talk about Fremantle. So we're coming up against Fremantle. We've got to get through them, who are currently on a 4-game winning streak. And they had the bye last weekend in round 12, so we'll see. I mean, obviously they'll be feeling a bit fresh coming off that, but sometimes, that's not always a good thing, but we'll see. Be interesting to see how they come up off the bye. It is over there too in Perth, so that'll be interesting. Now, I haven't been watching too much of Freo at all this year. They had a bit of a rocky start, you could say, and then I sort of just didn't really care about them. I thought they were not going to be very good this year, but they've kept up with the 8, keeping in good touch with the 8, and they've had some definite good wins over recent weeks, over Sydney, Geelong, and then Melbourne. Some very good wins there. But we'll see how we go against them Saturday night in Perth. So now a little bit about us. Even though we did win against the Giants, and it was a great win, especially it being a close game win, a win that we finally got on the winning side of, in a close one. The last time we won a game by under a goal was back in 2021, and it was actually against GWS, where we won by 4 points. So take that as you will, but it's pretty funny how it was against GWS. We obviously did win against Brisbane in 2022, but that was by 7 points, so just a bit above a goal. But yeah, in 2021, we won against the Giants by 4, and I'm fairly certain that was our last win by under a goal. Which was, it's pretty nice to win those close ones. It feels good. It feels very good. However, by no means do I think our season is heading at all towards finals or anything like that. Or I'm not thinking any of that yet. Obviously, they still are, and many mentioned that finals are still on the cards, but I still don't think so. I think we still have plenty of issues, and one issue that I want to bring up in this ramble is our forward line. Now, currently, and into the future, it just looks off. Our forward line just looks off. I want to bring up this stat from Collingwood, because they are the benchmark, but Collingwood have 8 players who have kicked 10 goals or more so far this season, with a handful, a goal or 2 off hitting 10 goals. In comparison, we have 5, and then it kind of looks a bit more bleak. So depends how you look at this, but I feel like we just lack a genuine forward line that looks deadly. It feels like we're relying too much on the midfielders getting forward and snagging a few, sort of Taranto, Prestia, Bolton, and sort of Graham. Which I don't think, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right on paper. It doesn't look right on paper. It doesn't look right on TV. It looks odd to me. Obviously, you can let me know your thoughts down below. I think in time it can sort itself out. We do, I think, in my opinion, have the players on the list that can do it. So I like to picture a deadly small forward line in the future will be Morris, Judson Clark, Cumberland, and then we could even see a move like Baker returning to the forward line, because we have a lot of these other halfbacks coming through, and like Sam Banks and stuff like that, or Mansell's another one that could go forward or back. So I like to think that we have the players there. We just need to get the tinkering right and the positional stuff right. But it's just, at the moment, it looks off, and it just doesn't look like we have a genuine forward line of Crumming, Smalls that can sneak goals and all that. It's just a thought. I'd love to hear yours. But anyways, back to the Collingwood bit. I know, but they are the benchmark. So our top 5 goal kickers compared to theirs. Ours is Riewoldt, Bolton, Martin, Ryan, and Taranto. Take out Riewoldt and Ryan, who are the keys, and Martin, who's has been mostly a mid. He spends his time forward now, though, but, he is more of a midfielder in, body and all that kind of stuff. But, Bolton and Taranto don't really sound right. So our top 5 just don't fit right to me, is what I'm trying to say. Is Riewoldt, Bolton, Martin, Ryan, Taranto is our top 5 goal kickers this year. Obviously Riewoldt and Ryan, but they're the keys. But I want to compare that to Collingwood's right now, which is Bobby Hill, Johnson, Jamie Elliott, McCreery, and then Nick Dacos and Jordan De Goey. Bobby Hill, Ash Johnson, Elliott, and McCreery, you could all argue, are crumbing small forwards, or at least mid or whatever. And then Dacos gets on the scoreboard a lot, and Jordan De Goey is Jordan De Goey. We all know about him. So I don't just want to compare our side to Collingwood, but there's no doubt that they are the benchmark, and it's just something that I think deserves a little bit of looking into. If we want to, be contending for the flag in the next 3, 4, 5 years, we think we need to fix our forward line. Even if we want to contend next year, but I don't know. I think, as I said before, I think we have the players, so maybe over the off-season we can try and sort some things out, or even during the remainder of the year, but it'd be hard to see that happening. But yeah, I might bring this up again at the end of the year, see how our back half of the year goes. Maybe it all fixes itself, and maybe everyone's getting on the scoreboard and it's a non-issue, but I just thought I would bring that up. Anyways, enough on that. Let's get into a little bit more of the game. So, some of the things that I'll be looking forward to, or looking for, against the game against Freo on Saturday night is just bring that forward pressure. And, this probably goes into what I was just talking about. But yeah, bring that forward pressure and keep their mids at bay. Brayshaw and Sarong are 2 bulls in their midfield. Got to keep an eye on them. It's also worth a mention that it's Liam Baker's 100th game. It's amazing that he's played 100 games. It doesn't feel like it. But I'd love to see him have a big one. Kick a few on the scoreboard, maybe end on 2 or 3 would be nice. Could definitely see him having a big day out, which would be great. Samson Ryan, another chance to have a big game, which would be good to see if he does. And of course, Taranto, I'm sure he's going to have a good game. He seems to be having a lot of those recently. I don't think he's had a bad game all year, so that's great. So I'm sure he'll continue that trend for his first game in WA for us. Another couple of goals for Jody Clark will be awesome. I think it's just amazing the energy that Judson brings to the side. It's great. So would love to see him get on the scoreboard a bit more too. Selection-wise, it's good to see Vlosten is back in at the expense of Ralph Smith, however, which is a bit of a shame. I don't think I need to hide the fact that I'm a bit of a Ralph Smith fan. I love the way he kind of goes about it. Yeah, he can be a bit sloppy and butchers it, and some of his efforts aren't great, but I think it would be great just to keep him in and let him grow. But yeah, anyways, Cumberland out injured. I don't actually know what his injury is. It just said injured. If someone could fill me in on that down below, would be great. But hopefully he's not out for too long. So it'll be interesting to see who our sub is. Fremantle have a good selection of goal kickers too, who have been up and about. So we'll need to contain that, especially JMS, who is leading their tally. Lockie Skultz, however you say that name. Walters and Frederick too have all been deadly. So yeah, keep them at bay, keep their mids at bay. And will be good, I think. Sean Darcy has definitely been one of their better, the better ruckmen in the league this season. But I think Nank can easily get up, to his level. And if not, I think Nank has almost been better than Sean Darcy when Nank has played this season. He was great on the weekend against the Giants. Fantastic on the weekend against the Giants, and he's been very solid since he's been back. So I reckon that'll be good to see Nank go head to head with Darcy. I think, I reckon Nank could probably beat him. Nank's been doing great so far. So yeah, we keen to see that battle on the weekend. And anyways, that'll probably do me for this ramble. I think I've covered everything I wanted to bring up. The main issue with this video was our forward line that I wanted to mention. So yeah, you can let me know what you think about all that and our forward line going forward for the rest of this year and in the future. I'll bring that up again probably later in the year. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening, and let me know all your thoughts for this game on Saturday night down below. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. And yeah, and all that stuff. So yeah, enjoy the game this Saturday night, everyone, and I will see you in the next ramble. See ya.